I saw my best friend enter a neighbor's house at 2:17 a.m. By morning, that neighbor was dead. And now, she knows I was watching. I didn't hear the scream. That's what I told the police. What I did hear was the wind pushing against my bedroom window at 2:17 a.m., rattling it just enough to wake me. Maple Street is usually quiet at night. Too quiet sometimes. The kind of silence that feels like it's watching you back. I checked my phone. No messages, no calls. Just another restless night in a town where nothing ever happens. Or at least, that's what I believed. By morning, everything had changed. Mrs. Callahan was dead. She lived 3 houses down from mine in a pale yellow house with a crooked porch swing that creaked even when no one was sitting on it. People liked her. She baked pies for church events and waved at everyone like she had all the time in the world. Someone had stabbed her. That word spread through town faster than wildfire. Stabbed. It didn't belong here. It didn't belong to us. I stood across the street with the rest of the neighbors, arms wrapped around myself, watching the police tape flutter in the cold breeze. My best friend, Lily, stood beside me, whispering, "This is insane," she said. "Who would do something like this here?" I didn't answer, because I couldn't stop thinking about 2:17 a.m. They questioned everyone on the street. When it was my turn, I sat at our kitchen table across from Detective Harris, a man with tired eyes and a voice that sounded like gravel. "Did you hear anything unusual last night?" he asked. I shook my head. "Just the wind." That wasn't a lie. It just wasn't the whole truth. He studied me for a moment longer than I was comfortable with, then nodded and wrote something down. "All right, Emma, if you remember anything, even something small, call me." I nodded again, but I already knew I wouldn't. The thing about small towns is that secrets don't stay buried. They just get quieter. Over the next few days, rumors twisted through Maple Street like vines. Some said it was a robbery gone wrong. Others whispered about strangers, drifters passing through. But I knew better, because on the night Mrs. Callahan died, I wasn't asleep. I had been watching. Not intentionally. I have trouble sleeping most nights, so I sit by my window and look out at the street. It helps me feel less alone, like I'm part of something, even if it's just silence. That night, I saw someone. At first, it was just a shadow moving too quickly. Then the porch light flickered on, and I saw a figure standing at Mrs. Callahan's door. They didn't knock. They just waited. I remember thinking it was strange. Who visits someone that late? Then the door opened, and they stepped inside. I told myself it wasn't important. People visit each other all the time. But the next morning, when the police cars arrived, I realized I had witnessed something I shouldn't have. Something I couldn't explain. Because I didn't see the person's face, but I knew their shape, their posture, the way they moved. It was someone I knew. I started noticing things after that. Little details that didn't sit right. Lily stopped texting me as much. When she did, her messages were short, distracted. At school, she avoided eye contact. "Are you okay?" I asked her one afternoon, catching up to her near the lockers. She forced a smile. "Yeah, just tired." "You've been acting weird." I said I'm fine. Her tone was sharper than usual, defensive. And that's when I saw it. A faint scratch on her wrist. Not deep, but fresh. My stomach tightened. "Lily, what happened to your arm?" She pulled her sleeve down quickly. "Nothing. I fell." She didn't meet my eyes. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about the shadow, the way it stood at the door, the way it moved. And the more I thought about it, the more it started to look like her. I tried to convince myself I was wrong. Lily had been my best friend since we were kids. She wasn't capable of something like that, right? But then I remembered something else, something I had ignored at the time. When the figure stepped inside Mrs. Callahan's house, the porch light illuminated their shoes, white sneakers, with a dark mark near the sole. I had seen those shoes before. Lily wore them almost every day. I didn't sleep that night, or the next. By the third day, the guilt started to crawl under my skin. What if I was wrong? But what if I wasn't? I went to the police station after school. Detective Harris looked surprised to see me. "Emma?" I remembered something. He gestured for me to sit, and for the first time, I told the truth. About the shadow, about the shoes, about Lily. They didn't arrest her immediately. They said they needed evidence, but I could tell from the look in his eyes, he believed me. At least a little. 2 nights later, everything fell apart. I woke up again at 2:17 a.m. This time, it wasn't the wind. It was a sound. A soft crunch outside my window, like footsteps on gravel. My heart started pounding. Slowly, I pulled back the curtain, and there she was, standing across the street, straight at my house. Lily. I froze. For a moment, neither of us moved. Then she started walking towards my house. I backed away from the window, my hands shaking. My mind raced. She knows. She knows I told them. I heard the front gate creak, then footsteps on the porch. A knock. Soft, almost polite. "Emma?" her voice called. "I know you're awake." I didn't answer. Another knock. "Please, I just want to talk." Every instinct screamed at me not to open the door, but something else, something stupid and hopeful, made me move. I walked slowly downstairs, each step heavier than the last. When I reached the door, I hesitated. "Emma?" she said again, softer now. "Please." I unlocked it. The moment I opened the door, I knew I had made a mistake. Her eyes were different. Not scared, not guilty, just empty. "You told them," she said. It wasn't a question. "I had to," I whispered. "Lily, what did you do?" She smiled, and it wasn't the kind of smile I recognized. "She wasn't supposed to die," she said. "I just wanted the money." My stomach dropped. "What?" "She kept it in the house. Everyone knew that. Cash, hidden away like it meant something." Lily shrugged. I thought I could scare her, get her to tell me where it was. "And then?" Her smile faded slightly. She fought back. Silence filled the space between us, heavy, suffocating. "You could have told someone," I said. "You could have—" "And say what?" she snapped. "That I killed a sweet old lady for money? That I'm not the person everyone thinks I am?" Her voice cracked. For a moment, I saw the girl I used to know. Then it was gone. "You ruined everything," she said quietly. My chest tightened. "I was trying to do the right thing." "No," she said, stepping closer. "You were trying to save yourself." I took a step back. "Lily." She reached into her pocket and pulled out a knife. My breath caught. "Don't," I said, but she kept moving forward. "I can't let you tell them anything else." "I already did," I whispered. That made her pause, just for a second, but it was enough. The sound of sirens cut through the night, loud, growing closer. Lily's eyes widened. They're coming," I said. For the first time, fear crossed her face. Real fear. She looked at the knife in her hand, then back at me. For a moment, I thought she might still do it, that she might lunge forward and end everything right there. But she didn't. The knife slipped from her fingers, clattering onto the porch. And then she ran. She didn't get far. The police were already at the end of the street. They caught her before she could disappear. I watched from my doorway as they put her in handcuffs, as she screamed, as she cried, as she looked at me one last time. I don't know what I expected to feel. Relief, maybe. closure. But all I felt was empty. Maple Street is quiet now, like nothing ever happened, like it swallowed the truth and tucked it away where no one can see it. But sometimes, at night, I still wake up at 2:17 a.m. and I wonder, if I hadn't looked out that window, if I had just gone back to sleep, would everything still be the same? Or was the silence always hiding something like this, waiting for someone like me to notice?